Hi, welcome to my plan with me for May 2026. So I thought I'd include just a quick little setup video of all the bits and pieces that go into setting up. You'll see that's a little screen that allows me to see my iPhone because it sits on an arm and I can't see it, which is why I sometimes forget to press record or pause it and don't realise. But that, of course, wasn't charged, which causes a problem. And, of course, then I have my actual iPhone that I use all the time to listen to a podcast while I draw, which is generally the way it happens. My theme for this month is mushrooms. It's mushrooms because May is when mushrooms really kick off here in Tassie, and I love drawing mushrooms. I've drawn mushrooms a lot. I think I've got like 4 bullet journal themes that have been mushrooms. I've included them in my desk calendar. I've got some prints with them. I love drawing them, and I normally draw them really simple and really stylized, as in like a little bit cute. But this month I decided to do something a little bit different because we have been out twice in April to take photos of mushrooms. And the last trip we did, which was last week, we went to the Myrtle Forest, which is out sort of in the back of Kunani, behind Hobart. And the mushrooms were out in force. It was absolutely fantastic. Given how early it is in the season, we got a really good collection of different shapes and colours and sizes and everything else. And I decided that because I got some really good photos, what I would do this month is actually draw based on my photos for reference, rather than just drawing random mushrooms that may not actually live in the world as a real thing. I decided I would actually draw some real ones. And who knows, I may even eventually find out what all these mushrooms actually are and give them names, but at this point in time, I haven't done that. So these are actually based on photos, which you're seeing as we're going through and doing this, so that, gives you an idea of some of the photos that I've been taking. I love doing macros, so I'll talk about this now and then I promise I'll stop talking about the photography. I love doing macro photography. I love taking photos of little things. I take these photos with a flash and a diffuser so that I don't have to set up a tripod and, do 15-second, 30-second exposures, whatever, trying to keep something stable in these tiny little cramped spots where most of these mushrooms grow. I use the flash and I can just walk up and go, snap, yep, great, that didn't work, snap, 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 yep, one of those worked, excellent, let's move on. And it just does make it really a lot more pleasurable than trying to do it with a tripod. It also means that I get like a really nice depth of colour in the background because the flash only sort of flashes so far for the length of time that the photo is taken. So I get a nice dark background, which can remove some distraction in there as well. And it also means, as you saw, one of the ones and what I'm drawing at the moment, is that if there's a bug and I do happen to see, like this bug was huge, I knew the bug was there, and so I could take a photo where the bug is actually in focus. More often than not, when I'm taking photos like these tiny little mushrooms, they've got tiny little bugs on them, and I don't know that until I actually get back home and I process it and go, oh, there was a bug there. Oh, I didn't know. And it might be out of focus because it was on the spot of the mushroom that I wasn't focusing on. So anyway, that's macro photography of mushrooms. It is a lot of fun. It really is my happy place. I really do enjoy it a lot, and we're doing some more of it at the end of this week. So that'll be nice and fun as well. Mushrooms and insects, fun things to take photos of. Now, these are sort of, like I said, they're all based on reference photos. You saw that. They are not, however, in scale, because that big mushroom in the top right-hand corner, and even the sort of, I'm going to say inverted mushrooms that are directly underneath May, They are so much bigger than any of the other mushrooms that are on here, and especially the ones I'm drawing at the moment. The ones that are on the two that are on the right-hand side under the big mushroom, and these ones that will be painted blue, they are so tiny in comparison. Like I'd be drawing something that's a couple of mil, so like, or a centimetre at most. So I decided that you're going to get them slightly out of scale because it, at the same time, is a drawing and I do not have to make them exactly scaled appropriately to each other. So there you go. April happened. I only spoke to you a fortnight ago, so not much else has happened since then, except I did go taking photos of mushrooms. And we will be picking our new car up tomorrow. Yay! I know I mentioned cars last time, but we bought a BYD Atto 3. So we'll be moving into the world of EVs to go along with the diesel cars that we have that are causing all sorts of stress. So we pick that up tomorrow, which is nice and exciting. And looking forward to maybe just reducing a little bit of stress with some of the car issues that we've been having. So, yeah. Apart from that, I've just been finishing project client work and starting new client work. But with the big project sort of completing, I've actually had some time to get back into creating for myself and not just creating for clients, which has been really nice. I really loved the client project that I was working on. It was nice to have something really big and, something I could get really involved in. That was great and I really enjoyed it, but it also takes a lot of my creativity, which means that I don't create for myself. And so, just getting back into a little bit of painting, a little bit of drawing, just doing some things for me as relaxation rather than creating under pressure. It's just nice to have that, which is really good. So, April's been a pretty good month all in all. I mean, it's nice to have sort of Easter in there so that get a few days off, although I did work a little bit over Easter, but there you go. And of course, Easter for us was also 2 years since we had to say goodbye to Lily. So, there was a little bit of sadness and everything in there too, but that's just how grief works with these things. So, But coming into May is going to be another slightly, slower month for client work, which I am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to having some time to really tidy up my office space again. I'm doing a really big sort of clean out. So I'm going to do a cull of some things as well, but put up some shelves to be able to sort of, get a few more things tidy and really get some of this stuff back under control because, it just seems to all come out of drawers and not go back into drawers. And I need to, that tells me I need to reorganise it. It tells me that the organisation isn't right if I don't feel that I can put things away. I'm sort of going and working out how I'm going to shift things around. And also I can get rid of a couple of drawers of client stuff because it's the sort of client work I don't do anymore, which is nice. So I'm putting the bleed-proof white in just to add a little bit of accent and highlight. And also because these small white ones, they're really very translucent and I can't really sort of add that effect with paint anyway, but definitely not with sort of the watercolour. I don't know, it just wasn't feeling that there was enough lightness in them. So I put some of the bleed-proof white in to just make that look a little bit better. Now, I hope that you all have had a nice April. I hope that, you got a little bit of downtime with the Easter break. I hope that you're staying safe and sane. It's becoming increasingly difficult to do that. Yeah, we don't talk about the world because the world just depresses me, and I honestly just don't know what to do about it. Now, I don't think there is anything I can do about it, but yeah, anyway, we'll get back to the fun things. But yeah, I hope that you're staying safe and that you're trying to find your moments of joy, because, yeah, they can get a bit few and far between in this sort of space. But anyway, so tiny bursts in the forest. Chasing mushrooms brings me joy. Who knew all the colours, shapes and sizes we would find here in Tasmania? So again, not a quote, it's just something that when I was thinking what would I put on here, I thought I'll just sort of talk about how I feel about taking mushroom photos. So this is what I mean by really stylized. This is how I often draw my mushrooms. So not a heap of detail, really simple. And these ones I have anthropomorphized by putting little faces on them to make them just a little bit cuter. But yeah, it's just the fun way that I usually draw them. But there you are. So here is my bullet journal for May. I hope that you have a nice May. I hope that I see you back at the end of May for June. I might even share, if I get some nice macro photos while I'm away at the end of the week, you might see some of them as well. But thank you as always for being here. Please look after yourselves and share all of those things if you wish, but thanks. Bye.